So in these videos, I'm going with the food scenery to try and promote for healthier eating. So cook healthier for yourself and for your people. Eat better. So I want to get these videos out the way. I'm not sure what they'll turn into. And again, I do the food scenery right now to try and promote people eating healthy. Cook more for yourself when you can, for your others, for your people. Cook healthy. Do research on what's good. Buy foods in a certain way. They last longer. And like I say, the food thing is just the food scenery is just to promote healthy eating and cook more if you can. Here, you probably can't see it good on one screen, but I'm going to try and get a different video of it. But I just want to show, because this is an update from what I released, well, years ago, but 2 years ago is when I put it on YouTube. But I've been working on this for a long time. So if you can go to YouTube and you go to your search bar, you push in Lushawn Rose. Lushawn Rose, Lushaunrose. Let's see. I don't know what it did there. It didn't go through, so. Oops. Wait. So let me put a space between Rose and put R-O-S-E. Okay, so here we go. Lushawn Rose. Here's my page. You go to my page. If you're on mobile, then the video that I'm trying to direct you to would be the Mr. Rose video. Excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry, it did not go to the channel at first. It was just showing some of the videos. So now we're at the channel. And I know that I did do a video recently. Video recently is just the photos. But in that video, in the description, you can read my book for free. Which the book is also on Amazon Kindle. That's one of the reasons of this message. Trying to get out more. Spread more. Of what I'm trying to do. So this video here in the Louis Rose, my story, there's a link to my book in the description. Now in the other video, Mr. Rose, now if you go to that video, you'll look in the description and you'll see pretty much what I am trying to do and what I'm calling on. Now, before I put this stuff on YouTube, I sent it out to a bunch of people. People in power, presidencies, royalty. I sent it to a bunch of people. So, when you go to the Mr. Rose video, as I said, you can go in the description. You'll see what I'm calling on, what I'm trying to do. And I know in this video is very important because this was the first time, calling on so many people and bringing out something important that we all as a people could use as far as maybe a second government, to help the first government. Because the first government is going through so much. And it's as if no matter what they go through, no matter what they do, a lot of people might not believe in their next moves. Also, we do see where we all lack, or where we're behind, or how we have not paid attention to some things because of them wanting business to carry on so much. Excuse me. Or certain business. And it could be harming our world, harming the earth, harming people also. So like I said, I don't know what these videos will turn into. I'm just trying to get these out of the way. These are my new updated videos. It will show on here that this was posted before 2 years ago. But in my book, which I completed in 2013, there are stories in there from around 2013 that can be proven that I've been working on this stuff before then. I also have many stories that prove that I've been working on this stuff way before 2013. But I'm sorry, we can move on. And in the Mr. Rose video that is important, the Mr. Rose video on the Lushawn Rose channel, there is another channel which is Mr. Rose's Life, Entertainment, and More, which has more stuff, but that's for down the line. So again, this video is just an update video of me trying to catch up on things and promote my messages more. So, excuse me. So for this presentation video, my name is Lushawn Rose, and this is my presentation video to promote myself. I'm a contractor, and I have been into construction and other commercial and residential property preservation work for over 10 years. I am a salesman, and I have been into buy, sales, and trade for around 20 years. I am a writer. I am the author and producer of the book, Now We All Shall Rise. I've been working on that book for over 10 years. I also just completed Mr. Rose's Book of Songs 1, which is also an audio over. And yes, the audio over. I am an artist. I can draw things on my site and I create art pieces. I'm looking to start an art program to help spread wealth around the world. You will be able to find a link to that project on one of my channels also. I have had to create 4 YouTube channels so far just to keep certain things separated. You will be able to navigate to the other channels from any one channel of mine. My Lushawn Rose channel is to promote who I am, introduction videos for my cause, my book, and anything that I may have coming up. My Now We All Shall Rise channel is more for information from me, my reviews of videos or opinions of things, news and other things, excuse me. My Mr. Rose's Life, Entertainment, and More channel is, I'm sorry, but it explains it there in the title. In all of my channels, I have created playlists for everyone, just in case you want to vibe with me throughout some of your days. I did create playlists in the Lushawn Rose channel. There's only a couple of playlists, but in the Mr. Rose's Life, Entertainment, and More, and the other channel, there's a good playlist that I really went through and I set up for people. There's some playlists for learning, and I think a bunch of you should be into a bunch of that stuff anyway, to just know what's going on around the world and try and stay tapped in with everything. That's really what I'm about. Us trying to keep up with patterns, pay attention to things, and better whatever we can. So I apologize about that. Yes, better what we can after checking over that. And so, again, that's the presentation. But this is the new introduction video. And speaking on things happening after I posted my videos and shared my book with many people, that's one of the first things I'm supposed to be speaking on. After I shared a bunch of stuff in the Mr. Rose video, you can go down in the description. And it'll tell you, like I said, what I'm trying to do. and what I'm trying to, okay, so these will be all the links here in the description. You'll have the first introduction video. In the first introduction video, I apologize about the quality of the sound, but that was done years ago. And it was very important for me to speak on a bunch of stuff. And that is the stuff that I mainly sent out to a bunch of people. I started seeing changes to a bunch of stuff that I was interested in or that I spoke on. Things started changing to that. So that's kind of why I was laid back and was paying attention to things and seeing how it went. On top of, whatever's going on in my life. So you'll see, like I say, after I shared everything, how everything came along. So in the first introduction video, we'll pretty much show what I am promoting, who I am, what I'm trying to do, what I will be doing. If I'm able to get through to certain people or do what I'm trying to do. Now We All Shall Rise, the GoFundMe, I think that's connected to my book. But this part, the Now We All Shall Rise. So, in what I'm trying to do, yes, I guess it's as if campaigning, but this is for the people, for us to try and build another government, or for us to try and, really help out wherever we can. And I'm knowledgeable of a bunch of things and of different cultures. I think that's a word that I can use for people to understand where I'm going to be targeting or what I'm trying to target. Or there's so many things that I'm trying to target. But like I say, I'm knowledgeable of so many different things. So that's the Now We All Shall Rise GoFundMe. That'll be your first thing. So then you have your trucks and trailers and community centers. The GoFundMe for that. Your Quicker Rising Educations and Trades. You got your medicines, health, and law services. Another League of Sports. Art program to spread wealth. And then you have my book. The link to my book, which is on Amazon Kindle. The link to my book. So these sites, or these links that I set up at that time shows what my intentions are, or what I was trying to do. Now after that is when the government started issuing out so much. Also in this video, in this Mr. Rose video, and in the first introduction video, in the description, it'll explain to you what I asked for or what we were to ask for, which we still are as a new group or whatever it may be. The number was 1 billion. Because at that time, that was the number that everyone would reach. And also that's the number to be able to generate what that new group would need. On top of that's not the only thing we asked for. In the Mr. Rose video, we also asked for access to half of all of our services. Because this is what, as this second government, yes, of course we would need that. Because we would want, that we want the same access or the same authority. Or somewhat close to the same authority. We don't want to try and override the new government. We don't want to disrespect the other. We don't want to try and override the government. So I apologize. You guys have to excuse me. I won't use the remote thing anymore right now because I have to check it and make sure it's still going because I don't want to keep going and then it's not recording. So yes, and I noticed that left off where we say we don't want to override the government, which we don't. We don't want to show any disrespect right now because we want them to work with us. We would need them to work with us. We need to work with them. But we just want a stronger voice. And the asking for half of our services, we know that will give us power. We know that is really what will put power in our voices and give us access to so much. Because the government, that's what the government uses. And also, we will need part of the government to handle some of the issues that we have to handle in the streets. Like I say, there's so many situations that have to be noticed or targeted. Actions have to take place. And like I say, I'm knowledgeable. So I'm gonna cut to the screen here while I go over some things. And all of this is just a briefing. I'm gonna wrap this up real quick, but I'll cut to the screen, go over some things on there, and a little bit what I've seen. So excuse me here. These are the links in the Lushan Rose video. Excuse me. And I apologize again about a bunch of this editing and stuff here. I'm still learning a bunch of this, so work with me. And picking back up on where we were, and I think this is the first time I've shown the links up close. Excuse me. So you have your links there, and you'll be able to see them and what I spoke on them. And this is what we all can bring for ourselves, because things could get out of hand and we might not have access to a bunch of stuff, services or whatever, supplies, different things. So picking back up where I left off, speaking of knowing much of how we operate in different classes, or like how they say low class, high class, or excuse me, low class, middle class, and high class. But we're speaking on the government and us trying to form a second government or another group that we all can believe in. Excuse me. And I say believe in because of everything that the government is going through. They are under a lot of pressure. They've been in control for so many years. And it's like no matter what they do, a bunch of people will not trust them. So put some of the power in our hands. They say that our voices have power, or we can be heard, and this is through votes or protesting and things like that. We understand that and we appreciate everything. But us having another group to be hands-on on everything that we should be hands-on with, as far as our environment, the foods that are dealt, farming, a bunch of things that these government officials and politicians, they make the calls on. In the end, is our voice really heard, or how much do we have a say-so over? We understand. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. By the computer not being active or used, it the screen cut out there, so excuse me there, man. And we were speaking on our voices being heard, and how much do we really have a say-so over? You know, because we understand the bigger companies, they make the money, and what they invest in, a bunch of the bigger companies, they're rich, you know, so they may make the calls behind the scenes. And we don't want to put pressure on any of them, because we understand that that could cause hard on us. And by giving us opportunity, doing this, it will show us the pressure that is always put on the government. We can release, we can help the government from some things, and they can work on other things, expanding throughout the world. I'm sure that if we do this, we can generate more. We understand that we will not be on a level that the government is on, but we would like access to more. And as I spoke before, having access of half of our services over here in America, and we can stretch out and do things in other countries, having access to our services
We're talking about the Marines, the armies, the navies, all of them. And we don't want to try and break down the government services now. We have a bunch of soldiers over here on America's soil that will fight for America's again in different ways. I'm sure we can do more for them. I know one of the ideas I had, I don't know if they have any, but military theme parks, something that can contribute to having more for our services when they get back or out of the service. But right now, uh, a bunch of a bunch of situations are real serious on our land in many different areas, and like I say, with many different situations. We have climate change. We have crimes, certain type of crimes. We have abuse of rather it is our world, or rather it is, like we say, high class, low class, middle class. Everyone is taking abuse somehow, some way. Maybe we're not paying attention to certain things. So, but that was speaking on, that's speaking on that again, us building this group. That is what a bunch of this is about. My book is to help generate a bunch of this. It shows how I understand certain things and how some things were spoken through me or brought out through me. Excuse me. So, excuse me there. I moved the computer a little bit so it won't cut off. And so that's picking up on that with the government, but I want to move down this list that I had started with. Like I say, these are just briefings. There's so much that we can go over. Just like with the government, we're sure that the government always have people bringing up, hey, well, we should do this or we should do that. And the government has stood firm on keeping certain laws a certain way to keep certain people. Well, we're not going to say to keep certain people down, but those laws have kept certain people down, or have harmed and caused a bunch of things. And like I say, there's so many situations. Like we say, these laws, or we have prescription drugs, or we have healthcare services and education systems, our discipline systems, the jails, the prisons. A bunch of these things could have been better, can be better. And we give us the opportunity to help with these situations. We understand, and I am going to bring up many situations where we see judges have made the wrong calls, or people have just made the wrong decisions throughout time. Like some of the over-counter drugs how they have caused death or cancer or other things. Just many different things that we can bring to the table to say, okay, give certain people another chance. We want to try and erase all debt anyway. If we can do that, then we can start over fresh and everybody move forward. And that is in all situations. We have racism wars going on, or whatever they want to call it. We have differences, and we will, but we can figure them out and work them out, but we don't do that. And everything is in the government's hands. So we see, or so we think. Or is it that the world is operating a certain way to keep wealth rotating a certain way? And we understand if that is the case in some cases, or in some situations where we know and we should have to understand that we have to supply our troops or our services because they fight for us. And if it wasn't for them, we would not have it as good as we do on American soil. And we respect all people. But anyway, excuse me. I want to get off that and we'll move down this list to get this over with. And okay, so we spoke on things happening after I posted my videos over 2 years ago. Things coming out, money getting issued out. They're giving loans to people for starting up new businesses. When unemployment first came out, they was allowing everyone to get it. So this is what I would have been doing anyway. So I'm glad that they got this out of the way, where they are issuing out so much to the American people. They're trying to give the American people so many chances, so many opportunities, in which they have. It is just that they have been so strict on things. I feel that they could have issued out more sooner, and not just with the cash, just different opportunities or different skills, or making trades more accessible. As you see my list here on the screen, this is what I was about, and this is what I was sending out to everyone. So them helping out, like with the trucks and trailers and community services. Now, this is something that I've known from me building my business, one of my businesses. Trucks and trailers come in handy in many situations, and it can help you promote yourself in many situations, especially if you're an entrepreneur. It can help you get indoors, or just help you in many ways. So your trucks and trailers and buildings, and then we have your quicker rising educations. So all of these things, they have meanings to them, or these are links to fund for a reason. Quicker rising educations, because look at everything we have to go through. And some people, the school system is not built for them, but the government doesn't have another option. And some things cost too much. The internet education is a new option right now, and it's good. It has been an option for years, or not so much, but if we can still work with it and make it work, it's not even about the internet education or the schooling education. It's about the youth or the younger life wanting to do what they want to do to move forward. Sometimes you're going to see what kind of person a person is. So by that, you'll probably know how to categorize them or put them in a certain area. But they don't do this. And that's common sense, because it just shows, okay, they want it to be simple. Now, we understand, and we respect and we appreciate the school system even being put together. Man, there's so many things that the government do that we appreciate, we respect, that we can't try and go up against them or try and turn them over, or like how they say defund the police. That's a whole nother story, whole nother video. We don't want to try and break down our law system. Well, we don't want to try and break it all the way down. We don't want to say that we're disrespecting it so much. We just want more out of these things, more out of these services. So again, moving on here, the money being issued out a certain way. So yes, they started giving it out. And another thing of mine in these videos, in this, if you see there in the first introduction video, that video was when I was getting callings, or I was feeling some type of way, and I spoke on a bunch of things that I felt was important for our world. And I want to speak on another thing here. This was moving down. More kids and women started to be found. So there was a situation in there, and all of this connects itself in a way that people don't pay attention to. So you have women being snatched up, kidnapped, held captive, tortured, and children for many different reasons these days. And so you have the dark web, or you have Oregon, or fetishes, or whatever it may be. So, but a bunch of these things was not being paid attention to. You didn't see a bunch of these things hitting main news, or you don't really see, the laws really breaking that down so much. We want to know what's going on with that. We want people being found, kids being found, and more protection. Now, more protection is going to mean, it to be strict on the public, more cameras, less privacy through people. You already see they're into your phones and they can control these things. We understand that. So you have to know how to work around that, however you can. But the main thing, like we say, man, kids are being kidnapped. women are being kidnapped, kids and women being raped, tortured, things like that. And my meaning, and I'm not all, or excuse me, I'm no government official or no politician, and my goal is to try and work with as many things as I can from a higher power. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say any religion, because I feel that I'm supposed to believe in all religions. I believe in everybody. I believe in, especially if you're serious, and because there's a bunch of things out here that have to be formed together for us to move on in a certain way. But that, and like I say, that's more kids and women started to be found after I sent out so many things. President Trump, and they started getting down, or excuse me, started when I say getting down, they started, excuse me, not they started being more strict about the trafficking and the women and kids, and then if you notice in the Hollywood thing too, around my time when I was starting to reach out around Hollywood, a bunch of things started breaking down. The story with the Epstein, and there was another one before him. So, and that's what I mean too. All of these situations being formed together, like Hollywood, and they say, okay, well, Hollywood has so much going on, and you can see this, and we know these things. This is why we just want America to open their eyes, not just America, but the world, because we all know. I mean, look at how women are. So, especially if the woman is beautiful, or if there's a certain something to her, men are a certain way, and it's just the way the world is. So we know for a fact how things are, not probably are, and yes, we know that we all should know too that women are a certain way. They may do some things, or so we understand that. But our thing right now is we don't want to go back and forth with it. We want to use these facts to say, okay, look, we're just going to start everything over. We apologize. Everybody apologize. We send apologies from that side, apologies from the other side, all sides, and we just start fresh. And we know that things can be done the right way. And the people with all the money and all the access and all the power, they have to quit acting a certain way and quit holding all the money and all the power and all the access. We have to let things flow. We have to allow things to flow a certain way. And that alone is going to open up so much and clear out so much. And so, like I say, more kids and women started to be found. And these were a list of things that I named down to why I was comfortable just, with my life or going on. Because I started seeing so many changes after I sent my stuff out. It's like, okay, man, and a bunch of things was seeming weird to me, but at the same time satisfying. And I have a social media. This is the next one on the list, and it makes me speak of my social media, Louis Rose on Facebook, either out of Cairo, Georgia, or Lansing, Michigan. So Louis Rose on my social media, I share how I feel about some stories sometimes, because I don't make videos all the time. When I was making those videos there, and this list and these things here you can see, I was really getting call-ins, and I really get pushed to the limit to where it's like, okay, you have to do this, you have to get this out of the way, put it out, whatever. Kind of like what I'm going through now. So to speak on my social media, Louis Rose, again, I speak on that site to speak on issues, or I'm hoping that I can keep people motivated throughout life. I share news, and like I say, my points of views. So this one here, it was an important one because it speaks on certain things. Like I say, we want to try and get all in through all of the systems that we can. And there was a young lady that was put in prison. She had to defend herself, or there was a situation where the guy had her, and she could have been a captive, or which I think she was, something like that, or however it may have been. And people get in these situations when they live a certain life. some people don't live a certain life and they choose not to care about what either side went through, and they say both sides was wrong, put them away. So I spoke on that, and I put something out on my social media. Nothing was going about it at that time. And down the line, I think Miss Kim Kardashian picked up on that situation, and that lady ended up getting released. Man, and for me to see that, it's like, okay, good. Man, not just good, how a person, what that would make a person feel like on the inside. And I know that I spoke something else, is if we can keep doing things like this, it will open up so many things, as far as using joy and stuff like that. Now, that's on the good side. Now, of course, we have a bad side that we'll have to deal with also. Uh, if we get down that, that's another down the line, another video speaking on that. That's another video speaking on that stuff. So the lady ended up getting released from prison. She had to kill the guy. The guy was trying to pimp her or doing a bunch of stuff to her, or however that was, and she had to kill the guy. And the judge sentenced her to so many years. I think it was life in prison. She couldn't get out. She couldn't get out. So, and do you see how it's making me feel that the judge did that, or like, I mean, so like, I mean, like, was this young lady getting any special attention, or was it like she was punished fully and she was protecting herself, or however it was? But of course, some will say we don't know the whole story. But hey, like I say, in all of my everything throughout my book, throughout my life, proof of me shows that I have been through these things. I have experienced some things where some people are evil, and there's a lot of evil going on. And that's what I mean by we're going to have to bring out our bad side, because we've been turning the cheek so many times that evil has gotten so powerful, or greed, or people with greed has not been called to the table or called out so much. Now, we're not saying that we want to control people's money or how they spend their money, but we know that a cycle should go a certain way. Or, however, is it, but it'll take time, and things are different everywhere. People are different everywhere. So, but that was one, and moving to the next one. But that lady getting out, and we want more situations like that. And excuse me. So the prison reform thing started coming in, because I speak on that more than just that situation, more than just that post on social media about her. I always speak on situations where some people may have been misjudged, or there are crimes that they have now that people should not get so much time for. And look at all of the judges. Look at all of the judges. Look at all the officials. They are a certain way to where they have no, what is the word, sympathy, or they do not understand, and they choose not to. And they act like a certain culture don't, that their culture cannot exist. I'm sorry, excuse me. I don't know that. And you know what's crazy is that the way that just came out, it kind of relates to the group, the Black Lives Matter group or whatever. But we want more groups, or I don't approve of any group that is trying to put their race out more, or trying to make their race stand out more. I understand where they come from. Any race, it could be anyone. I understand it. I understand their organization. I do. Sometimes you have to respect it. But some people don't understand that, and they act like, that other races are supposed to accept them. It doesn't work like that. Now, yes, accept them as far as, respect them. Hey, like, we can keep it simple. We wish the best for you. We may even, we don't mind. We help, give, protect, all that, and that's from one race to another, whichever it is. And nothing's wrong with being like that. but to have hatred. And you have to excuse me, getting off track. But not to have hatred. We all have to work with each other, but I do believe in segregation is what they call it, maybe. Because I have came up in different cultures, and I have studied different cultures and understanding them from their souls and from how their families are, and not just their families, but when you are a part of these families, and then now you are seeing how the families operate, what their rules are, what their morals are, then you kind of see how they are and who they are. So when you're around any of them, you know how they are from their backgrounds or from their roots. So sometimes you have to respect that. You might be over here in this culture and you can't act a certain way, and you might be over here in this culture and you can act a certain way. And some people don't understand the difference, or they don't apply the there is a time and a place for everything, or they don't apply the respect this person no matter what, until if you're given other reason, whatever. And then in that case, I think that's where the turn the other cheek comes in, and it is turn the other cheek to try and teach that person, and if the person don't want to be taught, or whatever it is, then you move forward with whatever, however. So excuse me. So some things, this is moving down the list. And so some things were also put on hold. In the first introduction video there, I spoke on some things having to be put on hold because we keep producing and keep producing, and some of these things we do not need to produce. And we don't know what is harming our world. Like so much stuff that we are producing. I've been into so many businesses. I worked for Bridgewaters, and they were producing so many vehicles a day, all day, every day of the week, all day, every day. And I'm wondering to myself, where are all these vehicles going to? So they're producing so many vehicles. This is just one company, and this is just a car company. So we also have, and they say what these cars are doing to the world, but we're constantly producing them that much. And not just that, producing so much other stuff. And the labor of this production, you can see that we could be producing much more, but we're tied up in producing what we've been producing so much that we can't break away from it, or they can't break away from it, because that's what they're tied into so much. That's their income. For them to break away, it would cost so much. It would cut pretty much everything in half. Okay, well, you're gonna have to do that. We have to do that, but you're gonna get it right back. You're gonna get it back because we're gonna invest in the best, or we're gonna take to the best, and that's what has to go on right now anyway. We apologize, but some people are going to fall in the category of they have been being greedy. It's okay. We all have been, or we all may be in that category. A bunch of people save a different way, and they could be in that category and not even know it. So we have to spread, and that's what I mean. We have to let things flow more. So some things were put on hold after I sent out everything I sent out, and really trying to hit everybody where it matters. Like I said, I sent out to royalties, presidencies, people in power, everywhere. And just so happened, like I said, a bunch of these things start unfolding and going this way. So I lay back and I'm just paying attention to things. And by things being put on hold, I mean, look at what the virus did. So the virus put so much stuff on hold and on halt, to where, they say that the world itself, the universe, or the Mother Nature, the world was getting better. But of course we have issues going on around the world. But by things being put on pause, look at the things that happen. And that's what I meant by things being put on hold. Also, not just production, but so people can realize how much more we can do with ourselves. And look at more people start finding better education, or looking out there, just searching for more to try and have a more value. We see employment is trying to do better. We understand it and we appreciate it. I'm sure everyone appreciates it. They should. They better. Any help? Excuse me. I wanted that. Sorry about that. I'm gonna fix that there. So any help that can be given. Excuse me. They're fixing that there. Some things were put on hold. A bunch of things were put on hold. Everyone's looking for better and more. People are being woke. And like I say, employment. People are looking for better employment, and the employment systems are trying to do more and give more. We understand that some can't and some might not be able to. Some may have to go. Some may have to recreate. And we want to try and teach and promote entrepreneurship more, or for people to work with many different trades as much as possible if they can. Or, sometimes you might have to settle to one thing if that's what you have to do. But you want that one thing to be something that's gonna give more. Man, us in America could have so much more right now. We don't want to speak. Just to hint about how China operates, or different countries, and you see how Dubai is, but like I say, we don't want to put any hurt on the government. We appreciate everything that the government has done. Look at the education system that it has offered, all the help that it does offer for our women and for our disabled. So we appreciate that, and everything it does do for the people. So we appreciate that. We just know that it is time for more, and we have to roll over into more quicker and faster. And we want more respect. We want more access. So things were put on hold. That's where we are now. We haven't picked up from it. We're still in the virus. Right now they're with the vaccines. I myself, on this day, with the 11th, I think it is, the 11th of August, 2021, I myself would say that we are in somewhat of a second quarter, with us having 4 quarters. Let's say once the virus came out, of course, with a virus, you're going to have a vaccine. We're still fresh in everything. The virus just came out a year ago or so, whatever, a little more. So the vaccine is trying to get out. We have so many people around the world, so many people in America. So, of course, some people are going to be leery. Some people are waiting. Some people are going to have to wait, or going to wait until the 4th quarter. And the 4th quarter, I say, is when they're going to say, or they're going to, in the 4th quarter, at the end of the 4th quarter, it'll be, okay, everyone has to take it. And of course, in the end of the 4th quarter, there'll be easier access, better options probably. And of course, you'll have, they'll been done worked out everything. But right now, I say we're still in the 2nd quarter, which it is now. They are, look, man, we have a bunch of people that just don't believe in it. Some people don't even believe in the virus itself. So, of course, we're still in the 2nd quarter of a virus, or a vaccine for a virus when it just started. So you have to excuse some of us, or some people. I could be vaccinated or not. I don't know. Excuse me, not that I don't know. I don't know what I should promote is what I meant to say. Because the vaccine could be saving people. So being in the 2nd quarter, you have to pay attention to everything. You gotta see what's going on. Which vaccines are going to be the best? Who is really promoting it? What's going on? So we'll roll over in the 3rd quarter soon here, and we got to pay attention to the numbers of the virus. Is it still going up? People that have got the vaccine, are they going to start passing? So there's a bunch of things that we have to pay attention to for things to move on. And I don't have a problem with it. I like it. I like the way that things are still at a halt. I don't want things to just pick right back up and get the going, because man, those big time people, the rich people, that's what they want. That's what they want. So everybody can get back into the flow of their flow, of the flow of keeping the money going to keep America going. We understand that. We appreciate that. And we will do that. You're not going to have a problem with that once you get the flow really going, because you're going to get more workers. A bunch of people are going to be able to come to the light. We haven't even spoken on things that are going to bring more laborers. We haven't even spoken on that stuff yet. So there's nothing wrong with things being put on hold right now. And to some people, you do not need to be trying to rush some things back into our world right now. It is only going to show that you are trying to be greedy and you only care about your business. We have to try and produce different. We have to try and produce more. We have to try and make make more things accessible to the youth coming up. Now, we understand that your business is supposed to be important, but when it comes to the world and what we're going through right now, look at all the stuff with the climate stuff. Look at all the stuff with, like I say, the murders and the greed and a bunch of things. You have to understand we're going to have to put you on the back burner, and you're going to have to understand that you may lose out. But hey, you got to regroup. You got to recreate. You got to do, and that's why we have to teach entrepreneurship so much. And we have to enforce it, and work with it, because it is important, very important for you to know different skills and have different trades. And that is one of my, you can see the list there. And I know that if we was to start a group, the people, if we was to start a group, we was to start a government, imagine how much we would be able to cover so fast, because we know the problems. We're living in the problems, and they're starting to call it waking up. People are waking up or realizing things. Yes, that is a good thing. Let's not pay attention to that, and let us not capitalize off of that also. We got to keep moving forward, people. So anyway, just to keep moving down the list. So some things was put on hold. These are all things that just had me situated and put back. And I spoke on these things. So this is what I am calling to your attention right now. So anyway, to move this, because this is what had me content with the pace I was going, which is what I just said. So I was sitting back watching everything. So next on the list. Now the numbers are the same for me. I spoke in this video somewhere where we told them we want to start off, or we have to start off with $1 billion. So however we do this, donations or people, investors, I don't need it, or, we don't have to do it, but everything I've come from, I don't know if I'm the one that is supposed to be doing it. A bunch of things do happen through me. I feel that I can send people back throughout my life to talk to people that have been with me throughout my life to understand some things that have happened through me that are from a higher power. But I don't want to get to sounding weird. I really work with all types of people. So, but the numbers are the same as far as saying we want to start off with $1 billion, because $1 billion is the number for a bunch of people. It is a number that catches attention. But now, since I've said what I've said, and I told them that, now we getting this number so many times, in a high volume. They say, okay, well, we are giving out so many billions to do this and do that. I didn't even believe we was functioning like that. So they say, okay, well, we're giving out billions for this. Now they're saying, okay, well, we're giving out trillions for this. Okay, now government, we didn't know that you guys could have been doing this. So it's been over 20 years, 30, 40 years that we could have been getting this type of help, that we could have been getting this type of assistance. Now we understand a virus brought this out. So without the virus, does this mean that all of this money was being used, like we say, through the government? Like we say, for the rich people. So we've just been left down here at the bottom. Man, that's crazy. That minimum wage was $7 and something, or it's still, minimum wage is still not over $10 in some places here in America. And that's crazy. Some people, we know what rent costs. We know what the electrical costs. And now we have people coming out with different things to get energy. So you guys are so strict, and you act like things are so perfect, or you keep laws a certain way. So why can't you make it to where, or why could you not have made it to where people could have been doing things to save themselves money or to gain more in life? It is a system that it takes us too long to overcome or to gain so much. So, but we do see the rich and the wealthy, so we know it is accessible. We know that it is there. So excuse me, and I hope I didn't get off. Or no, actually, we're on the same thing. Like I say, where the numbers are the same, and we asked for $1 billion to start, and we see and we know it can be done. Shoot, we see them giving, like we say, trillions now. We didn't even know that this type of money was given out like that. Well, not like that. When the virus hit, like we say, they opened up portals for everybody to get this money, and now they're giving out millions of dollars to people to recover. The government, millions for the PPP loan thing. When I feel, but I'm not saying anything against the people getting loans. Congratulations, and please utilize them right. But I feel that this money should, like when you're issuing it out to the lower class people, that's a good thing. Bless them, allow them to gain, whatever it is, allow them to. Yes. But the money we need we need it. We all need it to better ourselves, to better our country, to strengthen our country. Now, they have to do the infrastructure deal now just to satisfy those that have been asking for it. People that care about their vehicles or driving down the street. When right now, we are in danger. Hopefully, they are targeting the right things with this infrastructure deal, which was passed yesterday, August 10th, 2021. And trillions of dollars to help with that. So congratulations with that. Congratulations to the country. Now, okay, so that's for the infrastructure deals. But we have so many situations going on. We have so many things that need help. And some things you guys wouldn't even think that these situations should mix. So let's say you go from infrastructure to petty street crimes. Now, we're going to call petty street crimes murder right now. That's not petty. But what I'm saying is, but these things now, infrastructure, like we say, so in the infrastructure deal, just like in the infrastructure deal, it will go out to many different companies, many different, so many different people. So that's why so down in the petty crime, murder, kidnappings, rapings. No, but we need the infrastructure. Yes, that's good. Get that out the way. So now what I'm getting at is now we need money for down here. But wait, that's not it. Also over here, now we need money for over here because we need to study, like, should we be getting to space? Like, we really need to know more information, and we need hands-on information, which will come from our new group or our new, secondhand government or government assistance, whatever they want to call us. So, we'll need money over there. And that's going to take, we already know that takes billion, we want more access. And that's another thing with this and with our group. We can promote more or bring more for us to be able to provide, for us to be able to make it to space. Because we know if we leave everything in certain people's hands, some information will not be given to us. So we want to be able to fund our own researchers, our own scientists, our own laborers that will go out there and do things. And we know how things are strict. Our people will be willing to put their lives on the line, just like the American people are willing, in these services they are willing to put their lives on the line. And we respect that. We look up to that, the way our services go out there and train and figure out all of this stuff and do all of this stuff. We look up to that. Some of us do, and you guys don't know that. We want to be a part of that. It's just that we can't do it you guys' way. You guys are so strict about it, and you're like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that. And then you're keeping people, you're holding people, you're holding people for so long, you're doing this just your way. Like, what is going, look, like, but we understand where you have to be strict, and that's where the training comes in sometimes, or you're teaching them. But come on, man, we see that it don't have to be like that. It does not have to be that way. I can show you a video. I'm going to show you a video where, okay, in the services, they had a guy doing a video, and he was going around asking everybody, hey, join in the army, join the services. What would you say about it? They say, don't. He's going around, he's asking everybody, all of them. He's asking everybody, hey, we're joining the army. You got anything to say about it? They say, don't. But the army wouldn't even care, though, because they feel, because this strict thing that they have, they're being chumps. They want to talk a certain way. Sorry, hold on. They want to talk a certain way, and you have to excuse me, that cut out there. Yes, I am in the comfort of my home, and I'm trying to get these videos done just to get them out. I don't really care about anything else. So you guys have to excuse me. I apologize. And if you've made it this far and you've listened to everything, thank you. So we say the number is the same for us. We do appreciate everything that has been given out. We do, to all the people, and we will be calling for all the people to give credit for that. Anything you accepted, every opportunity that was given, even if you didn't get it, you have to accept that the opportunity was given. So we, as the people, we appreciate that. Thank you. So the number is the same, though, starting off at $1 billion. The number at $1 billion, imagine how much that will generate, what it will bring. Because we will know how to do this. Starting off with that, we will invest in every state. Starting off. And this is one of my ideas. I figure with $1 billion, or any billionaire, or some may have, excuse me, I apologize. But as we will start off with investing $1 million in every state off top, and see who else we can get to invest with us. With this number will grow. We don't want this for one individual. We want this for this group. Now, hopefully I can get some book sales. I just completed another book, which is audio over also. And the Now We All Shall Rise GoFundMe is also for, for me, or maybe, anything that is for me is going to be for us. I am just a vessel. But like I say, I don't like to talk like that a certain way. I'm just a vessel for the people, though, not for a certain religion. Don't think that way. I say that I am a vessel for you as an individual, or for whoever. And I play that role. I have throughout my life. And people will tell you that. So by the number being that, okay, this is the, only way. Okay, yes, moving on down the list. This is still with this number being the same. It says this is the only way we'll be able to pull something so big off. Starting this group off with $1 billion, like we say, yes, that is the only way. Because anything less, you will have everyone, they won't believe in that. It's just not enough. Anything less than $1 billion is not enough. You have major artists reaching $1 billion right now alone. So that is the number. That number is we're going to roll over into times where even that number is not enough for a group. And we're not even asking for that number to be enough. We're just saying starting off at that number, and everything else that it will generate is going to be for that. So, but we know that number should do numbers for that group, or for that government, or whatever. Okay, so moving on. And even that will be just to start. Yes, that's what we're saying. Even that will be just to start. So it will take much, but shall be worth it for most, and interesting. So yes, of course, doing this, trying to bring this forth, yes, it will take much. It shouldn't take that much, really. Look at the presidencies. when they're debating, or when they go out and they say, or they're campaigning, or the new GoFundMe thing, or however it is, it shouldn't take much. Now, see, I think with the world, the issue would be who to trust. I don't know why my story was put together the way it has been. I mean, my life, from a child to coming up to who I was throughout my life and to who I am now. So I feel that I have that in me to where I don't think that the people would doubt me. But sometimes, I try and stay so in tune with everything and everyone, all the way from the earth to, like I say, everyone. I stay so in tune that I don't think that they would doubt me. Excuse me, I apologize if I got off track there. So, but my life was put together a certain way, and that's what the book was made for. But, oh, yeah, that's where I was. I was saying I am so in tune with everything that I also know that, man, would a person like me want that? I mean, I can handle pretty much anything, but it would be vice versa. The people would have to, accept me just like I'd have to accept everything. So that's where we would understand, the government, man, they got so much on their plates. And then for many years, they got so much on their plates. So we have to understand if they say, okay, well, we didn't think to change this at this time. They haven't said that yet, but that's what we want. We will have to hear them say, hey, we apologize. We didn't put more effort, more time, more investing into our people. We apologize. We thought we were doing the best by keeping the people safe and protecting the people, and by trying to supply the people with the best. We thought that was the best. That's what we want to hear. That's what we have to hear. At the same time, rotating and evolving into better things, which we could have done a while ago. Like I say, and I say it in one of my videos, it tells you that we run an obese America. We have so much, and all of this comes from us piling so much, stacking so much, and by us being able to create so much. So but now, like we say, it's time to allow things to flow different. So moving on here, and I am almost done, and this is just briefing. This is just I apologize about that again. I said the temperature had got too hot. So, but I will be doing different videos on different stories and situations that are going on around the world. But this video is just another updated introduction video. Of course, me reaching out more now on trying to make something happen. I can only put out what I can put out. That's all I can do. And I know I have many ideas to try and help many people become wealthy or get in the systems. And that's one thing I want done with me. Run me through the system. I've been ran through other systems. I'm not coming to the table empty-handed. I know how content can be marketed. I know how almost anything can be marketed. But if we all work together, or like I say, the book deal, I see that there is an audience for certain things, and anything to help will kick off. So to move on, and like I say, that these are just briefings. Everything I've spoken on, there's more to it, and there's so much more that I have to speak on. But to move on down the list, excuse me. So this was a letter to our services. Now I'm freestyling it here. This is what I wrote there to freestyle it, but this is where a little bit go in because of course we're asking for access to half of our services. So from me, I send, my appreciation, and we do as a group. And I am sure throughout the time, especially throughout these last 5 years, 10 years, we see that our servicemen and women could use more over here on American land. And we're not saying anything against the government. Like we say, we know that the government have a lot on their plates. We know that our services have a lot on their plates. But times do change. And I want to be a part of the services as far as doing some of the things that you guys do. And I speak for a bunch of my kind of people and other people when we say that we appreciate you guys in other ways and we wish that we could do some of the things that you do. And some of us, excuse me, some of us, the guys like me or women like me or even other people in other cultures, all people, and excuse me, there was some of us, we call ourselves soldiers and we've never been in the field that you've been in. We call ourselves soldiers of, in our areas or, but there's many, there's different types of soldiers over here, as you should know, as you see. Now, to be an official soldier, we understand that we have not done that. So we don't have the training that a bunch of our services have or give. We would like for some of that training to be available. And in some of the prison systems, we come across some of those people. I've been in some of the prison systems, so we come across many different types of people. So you interact with them, and they teach you about their skills or their trades or where they're from. So, excuse me. So we speak to the services, not only asking for, half of access to our services, but we want to be a part of all of the services because we see what they are going through. That's not TV, it's not movie type stuff. They are really doing this stuff, so they put their lives on the lines for us, and they go out there, and we have lost many soldiers to many wars or many situations that some of us don't understand. And we have to understand that war will take place sometimes. We could go to war over here on our land, but in different ways. So in the streets, and I don't know any other way to say it, like in the streets with the murders. So, but I can mention Chicago for people to understand the situation, but not only in Chicago, Atlanta, Texas, Michigan. And like I say, I come from a certain lifestyle, and I pay attention to a certain lifestyle. I pay attention to as many lifestyles as I can. I would like it. But anyway, so in the streets, there's wars going on. Now, like I say, I pay attention to things. I think that I can help with a bunch of these situations. We see clearly the power, I think, but I also know that some power is not documented or, let's say, known. Excuse me. Some powers you will never see on TV, or you will never hear about or see them. And we know this now, but we have this on both ends. This is still in the letter to our services. And I want them to understand, I need them to understand that we have two sides of this in the streets. We have good soldiers in the streets and bad soldiers in the streets. It is not just if it is a street soldier, it is a bad soldier. Sometimes we have to stand up for ourselves or for our family because of someone who is ignorant. Maybe they want to sell drugs in an area that we ask them not to. Now, yes, some of us came from doing the same things, or we had to teach ourselves not to do that, or as we grew we became more mature and we knew not to do it, so we understood why we was asked not to do things. Now you have to change with the process. You have to change as you know you need to change. But some people do not, and some people claim to be rude boys or rude, or some people claim to be rude, some people claim to be disrespectful, some people claim to be evil, some people claim to be demons. So all of these things will make them a target. Now I'm not talking about from you guys as a service, because I care for my people also. I know what is going on. Now, excuse me. Now, in our group or our assistant government or whatever, and so many things that we can call it, a second House of Representatives, because in the video here, in the Mr. Rose video, we are calling on so many people. And we feel that these people should be knowledgeable of things that they can help to where we would be able to grow fast. We will not just be some low-class government. We shall be formed of higher powers also. Even some of the original government officials shall assist us. But with this, we want everybody to be more hands-on. We want to provide more for everyone and just make it simple. We all know what it'll take. I have many ideas. We will be open to hear many ideas and I'm sure things will come that we've never heard of before. And in our services, we need to be able to clear up some people's records. Some people are still and can't live their life because of, let's say, okay, well, we will say warrants. Let's say that some people have warrants that they just could not take care of from being on a run, from a probation misdemeanor or a low-class felony probation, something like that. Now, we know how tough the world is, but in the services, all the way to our police departments, and the police departments are inside of this when we ask for half of our services, because they are, our services, and we respect them. We do not want to defund them. We just want to help them and try and assist them at operating better and at assisting us better, and to avoid situations before they start. So, but anyway, excuse me, getting off track there again. So, but working with and the police helping us. Excuse me here. Excuse me. Okay, apologize about that, but getting back on track. We were speaking on trying to help people clear their life from certain things. And man, I feel that like just by knowing how the system is, I can see that would take so much, or even if it's possible, because the law is so strict. And I don't want to go against the law, but it's hard to understand, or like, how are they so strict? But most of it, like the system, it is correct. And as far as we know that discipline is needed, punishment is needed, always will be, because we will have evil running the earth, or people that want to be negative, or people that have, like we say, have to be punished. But we also know that certain things also play a role throughout the process. Like I say, majority of the judges, I don't know what race they are. Majority of the government officials, I'm not sure what race they are, but we see clearly that most of these type of people are in power. Now, I don't know if there has been a blockage anywhere to where, okay, some people or other people are not allowed, or is it that other people, they do not try hard enough? Like I say, I don't know what it is, but I see things. We know like for a fact, we see who is in charge. And like I say, but by what we see, we have to respect it, because we also see that these people have formed a government for us, which is protecting us and which have supplied us with much. Excuse me. So like I say, we mean no disrespect. I mean no disrespect. I see a bunch, and like I said, I feel that this can help the government. But also, I am looking to help my people. I know that there will be some bad people, and I know that there are some people that have done some bad things. But I think that some people shall be released or given some type of chance other than just sitting and rotting away. When I know that some charges and some things are not as serious or not that deep, or could have been avoided if the systems were made a little better, or if a little more or a lot more was accessible. And it will revert where it go back to, some people being greedy, or some people producing so much instead of producing what us as a people would need, or being able to put out more, offer more. Like I say, there are so many things that could have been done throughout time, because again, we run an obese America, and we have so much and could have done so much. Even if we ask any of our allies, or if we want to do this or that, we can do it. We can do anything. So we have to do it. But and like I say, some people, yes, I know it sounds crazy, but to give them another chance would also be like I say, we don't want to just give just one group of people or any type of certain something a chance. We want to try and clear all debt through everything, starting over fresh everywhere. Now, yes, this could take a process. Some people that are like, we know, everyone is not crazy. We know, okay, if someone is in prison for, let's say, viciously, or however, like, what do they call those serial killers that killed for no reason, or a person, the killers that will bomb so many people, or will go into a place and kill so many people for no reason. Now, we understand, why would we just let them right out? We understand this, law people. So, but if a person, you guys do have self-defense laws. Now, these laws are held up in courts in certain ways by certain people. You guys have a system where the lawyers fight the cases and all. We understand that. We respect that. We appreciate that. Our system, of course, this is where we will help also, because of course we are a second government. We want to help in all situations, because these people that are going through courts are also our people. No matter the race, no matter the anything, no matter what about them, they are our people also. So we can help with that. And we want more access to the insides of our courts and to the people that make the rules and everything. And there are so many people throughout many years that have been in prison, and we did not, as America, we did not do anything with them. We could have bettered their lives in some way or somehow. We are very talented over here in America. The chips that they are talking about, or if there is anything that you could have put in somebody to keep track on them, I am sure some people would accept that just to be released, or to work in a certain type of environment that could be built for these reasons. So, but anyway, a bunch of things can be done for that. And excuse me, and a bunch of different reasons that people are sitting in prison for so long. If a person sold drugs a certain way, or I don't know, I feel maybe even, like, there are some drug dealers, yes, they should be sent away and dealt with however they have been dealt with. We understand, yes. because like I say, there are some of them that are evil. They probably do not invest in their area or whatever. They are probably evil as far as harming others. They are probably rude and disrespectful to others, not understanding that they do not have to be this way, and that is not the way to be. And greed will fall in place when money is coming a certain way, or attention, or power, or whatever it may be. So I understand that some of them have to be punished a certain way, but some of them, I don't think that they should have been punished a certain way. And by the government or by the people that are doing the investigations on these people, because they follow them for either months or years, I am sure that they are able to, or should be able to give a better example of, okay, well, he really was a person, that, or at some point at that time and point, try and break them from doing that. Give them an option, because it is hard to gain a certain amount of money to be able to invest in something. Once those type of people, because those type of people do make a lot of money. I've been in many situations and invested with many types of those people, and been one of those types of people myself, and come from a family of these type of people, to where I understand that the money, they have so much money and can do almost whatever they want with it. So if maybe they are given an option, okay, you've already been caught, you got to give it up, and we're going to let the community know, we're going to let the world know you've been caught, and we're going to let the world know that we're giving you a choice. We're giving you a choice to either invest the money with the world, with the people, this and this, blase splee, blase splee. Now that is if this particular person has that option. Some people may not get that option because, like we say, through their run, they may be evil, they may have done so much wrong to where they don't get that option. But these have not been options for people. You guys are so strict and so firm and sticking to the rules from so many years ago that are not even for us. There's so many rules, not even just this rule. We have rules going on that are stopping people from being able to have certain types of relationships. We have people that are dying old, that have went years without being able to be satisfied in ways that's what most people do most of their lives. But by law, from you law people, you try and make it as if it is a bad thing, and you have made it to where it is not accessible anywhere, or like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So like we say, man, we know that the government system is not perfect, and we want that to be acknowledged, and we want to help. So like we say, like I say, this is still in the letter to our services, and because our services are the people that can make this happen. In the letter to our services, it will go on and go on and go on, because we have so many situations around the world, situations that can, or excuse me, man, so many situations. Like, so for our services over here in America, or for our services that are active, excuse me, or for police services, or the court services, you guys will be surprised how many people would like to be involved. It is just that we are being blocked from being involved. And yes, I understand that some people cannot be involved. If a person acts like they do not understand, or they want to just go outside of something just because they feel that their opinion should matter, just to go outside of something, then we will know that they are not, they are probably trying to cause a problem, or because that's usually how it goes. Because like we say, like, and if you go back to the segregation thing, or being able to separate things and accepting that, we will be able to see what I mean by that. Like, so, excuse me. Okay, so getting back on track, saying that if a person was to argue a point with an opinion, and it is obvious that the opinion was going against what we see as a fact. Like, and I was speaking, if we went back to the segregation thing and that being acceptable. So you have some people that would rather be around their race, or that would rather live with their race no matter what. They would accept their race as crime, or they look at, or excuse me, not racist crime. They would expect their, or excuse me, they would accept their people's crime. That's their people. That's like if you had a relative and your relative did something wrong to you, it wouldn't be the same as if someone on the streets did something wrong to you. So, and also to use the situation of their businesses and their companies and another race telling them that they should accept them, or that they have to be a certain way for them. Now, that is, we see, or most of us, or some will say or know that that is wrong, but I guess some will say that it is their opinion, or we have to, or some, but like we say, that's, some of that don't make sense. So all of these situations can be, like I say, all of these situations have to be targeted and can be taken care of, and we can bring certain type of attention to all situations. And going back a little further, just finishing with saying some people that are doing certain crimes, maybe they can be given different opportunities, and maybe we should look at the crimes a little more, and maybe we should allow other things so some crime can be avoided. I know in some of there I didn't give in detail, like when I say that they have made some things not accessible, like a person can't go out and enjoy themselves with a lady or with a man unless they are in a relationship. So the government doesn't understand that sometimes you can't always be in a relationship. And so that it is, excuse me. Yeah, so you can't always be in a relationship. And that is always going to be a problem. So there's nothing for people, or it's harder on the men that benefit from a situation like that. But then again, like we say, to our services, this is to our services, you have two sides of it. You have the good and the bad. And we sure most of you, or excuse me, we sure that you guys probably do your research the right way, and maybe you do know how to punish certain people. I'm not sure how that goes. Like we say, we don't know for sure, and that is another reason why we want to be involved. I'm one of the good guys, but at the same time, I'm for my people. Now, I see how people come down on some people, and they don't believe in their lifestyles or their ways. I even spoke on that. I speak on that through my social media and everything, and now that is, or excuse me, since then it has gotten more attention as far as respecting other cultures. So I'm gonna try and pick up where it left off in 3 different places. Speaking from, I know one of them was the relationships that we were just talking about, and people getting less for certain crimes, and I know the culture thing, speaking of it getting more attention. I did not speak on that throughout the whole thing, but that was around the time when the George Floyd thing had happened. But before the George Floyd thing had happened, you can see that I was promoting what I was promoting. I always have been. But that just happened to happen, and the situation took off the way it did. So that put a certain somebody, it's giving them a certain something right now. And that is another thing. Like this whole story here that I am supposed to be carrying out, it also has a plan B. And so, but we really just want this first one to work well. That way, it's more for everyone, and it doesn't have to be any, old crazy stuff and everyone or certain people going against certain people. But certain cultures have to be worked with. Certain people have to be worked with. Certain different groups of people, and I say those three different because uh, they will involve different races. Like a group of people may be made of different things, depending on what this group is, or from a certain area. So, but anyway, and I say these things for it not to seem like I'm trying to single out a culture or a race, but all of us have to be worked with. I would like to say that I am a part of all races. I can say this. I mean, if you go through my story, whatever, blase splee, but that is not what is important. And shoot, we want to know about all. Bring it all together. Bring it in. So that was the last thing there. Speaking on that, and of course the relationship thing where they got the law so strict, and they say, okay, well you have to be married, or they were saying that you have to be married to have sex, or that's what they say by the book. But by law, um, it's just nothing available for a person, for an adult, a mature adult. There's not certain access. Of course, you have certain clubs. Some people don't club. Of course, you have certain bars. Some people don't like bars. Some people don't like to deal with other people. But anyway, I know that sounds crazy. I know that seems like a subject so out. But, we want to try and cover everything. And we know, and like I say, these situations will show or should show that we understand what the government goes through. So much on their plate, like so many situations, like molecules, like cells. So that's why we can't think that anything is so small. But the government has done this, and it has allowed kidnappings, rapes, because some people that is the only other way for them. Also, and that reminds me of being able to try and speak to certain people through a certain way, a broadcast, to try and touch people a certain way, or trying to get an understanding, or try and open up certain things, certain doors. Like I say, even with the forgiveness thing and us starting over fresh, and all of this reminds me of saying, we want to call something like a Big Bang here. Something similar, the Big Bang Theory. It'll happen in a snap of a finger overnight or whatever, just like how, excuse me, things happen. A video may go viral overnight. So we want it to happen just like that. And in the process, everything to keep happening just like that, because that is what this is for. So this will, or it is, to be the next Big Bang Theory. Branching out and covering all areas, no matter what, no situation too small. And for the people we're in, and this is for us to work from the bottom on up. And we have a bunch of ground to cover. Excuse me. Yes, we have a bunch of ground to cover. So, and then the other thing was with them looking at the people, certain crimes, or trying to help them with some of their crime debt, whatever we can call it, because this is in the letter to our services, because our services really run the world. Run our country, helps us with our country and around the world, keep us safe, and keeps us to where we can negotiate and do things. So, and like I said before, the letter to our services, it will go on, it will continue from me, from us. We appreciate everything. We need your help, and we need another set, or another. We want to build more services. So we appreciate everything, and we ask for your helping hands, and we ask for you to help us become more helpful. And well, so I'll wrap this up for now. This is, like I say, this is just another introduction video, an updated introduction video of me and what I am trying to bring. I will have more videos on certain situations that are important. Of course, we want better education systems, quicker access. What do we have here? I know I have some things here. I mean, there's so many systems that we want to try and help. And like I say, we can look back to misjudgments throughout the court systems, or throughout all of the systems, throughout employment systems, education systems. We can look back through history and utilize a bunch of wrongdoings or a bunch of misspeakings, misteachings. We can utilize a bunch of that to say, okay, well, yes, we will, let's just clear the debt. We all start over fresh. Of course, a bunch of information is proven facts, and we respect that stuff. We a bunch of people just really want a little more of everything. So you guys have to excuse me here. I'm really trying to wrap this up. I think that's what this is. I spoke on enough for now. I did finish a second book, as I mentioned, which is Book of Songs 1 by Mr. Rose. It is audio over, and the original book, Now We All Shall Rise, is inside of the description of a different video. So that one can be read, and I'm looking for a book deal. And I have some other links to some other businesses and ideas. So, but that stuff is different. Like I say, if you've listened to all this, I appreciate you. Thank you.
So I also wanted to mention that I wore my black and blue in this video to represent our government and us. I feel we should do that more. Excuse me. Thank you. So I also wanted to mention that I wore my black and blue in this video to represent our government and us. I feel we should do that more. Excuse me. Thank you.